Coach Greg, and today it's a special edition. Myself and IFBB Pro Jonni Shreve are going to be going through advanced training techniques at World Gym in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. This is where I'm from. Dartmouth's right next to Halifax. It's going to be intense training, really hard. If you're a beginner, don't even bother watching it. It's too hard for you. Don't even bother. If you're intermediate, maybe you do one of these once in a while. If you're advanced, you know you're doing these. Check it out. This is how you train harder. Let's do it. Quads, hamstring, glutes, everything's being trained here. Now remember, I can't do squats, but doesn't mean I can't develop some legs. My legs are pretty well, they're one of my best body parts. What do? I do these things. I do triple drop sets. This is what a triple drop set's gonna look like. Remember, I have hip injuries and stuff. I gotta be careful, but what I do is I'm gonna train to about to failure in good form, drop the set down with weights. If you're on your own, you gotta strip it down on your own. If you got a partner, they can do it with you. It saves some time. And then you go to failure again and again. Super hard. You can't train like that all the time. Okay, so get ready. All right, so here I'm going not to parallel because of my hip. If I was you, or I would recommend to others to go a bit deeper than this. I'm not doing it under, less range of motion because I'm a pussy. I'm doing it because I don't want to end up like Ronnie Coleman, and where I've already had hip surgery and it's a genetic defect. It's not from training too hard. It's genetic. I was born with this mess up, okay? So if you're like me, you got to be careful. But if you're a normal human being, you can go down. Now I'm going hard. This is quite challenging. I'm not quite to failure here. I'm still going at it. I'm really, really forcing the weight up. And then that was about it. I might have got one more rep, so I'm stopping there. I'm just waiting. I'm getting my partner to take off one plate, and I'm resting at the top. Now I have more energy because the weight's less. So I'm digging deep, and I can do more and more reps again. So this is a nice little drop set. So all of these reps are putting a lot of stress on the muscle. Every single rep here is near failure. It's already at near the max. Then you stop again. Strip down another plate off each side. You're not done yet. And you go some more. So you're already wanting to quit, but you don't. And you just keep at it. It's very intense. You do not want to do 2 or 3 or 4 of these sets in a workout. It is too much. If you do that, you're going to need a deload week for sure. You're going to be in a wrecked mess. I did only 1 of these sets before, and I was wrecked. I did 4 warm-up sets leading up to this, and now I'm done, and literally, I can hardly walk.
I look terrible. Terribly painful.
Yeah, if I walk with my knees bent, I'll fall. That's good, though. Advanced training tip. Here, we have a super set, aka a tri-set, giant set. He's going to do 3 sets in a row, so he's going to go hard. Side laterals, he's going to do around 10 to 15 reps, okay? Picking a respectable weight and not like overly going crazy on cheating. So there's going to be a lot of metabolic stress on this exercise. It's going to be a long set. So if you think of the TUT, the time under tension, it's going to be extreme. So he's doing side laterals, targeting the side delt. Everyone wants side delts. Look like Superman. If you're a woman, you look like Superwoman. Women's figure. Who doesn't want wide shoulders? So that's giving you the wide shoulders right there. Now, immediately bend over and get more of the rear delt again here, okay? This is an underdeveloped muscle in most people. Most people don't target the rear delts because most guys will be out bench pressing all the time, which is front delt. It's gonna work the front delt, obviously the chest too. But if you do the rear delts like this, you could do a reverse pec deck, for example, another machine, but that targets the back part of the delt, okay? Better for your posture and so on. So he's doing almost like a rest pause technique. We didn't talk about this, but he's just going as hard as he possibly can. You can see he's already dead. He can't even hardly do this. And he is going to grab this easy curl bar while sitting. Now, obviously, you can do all of this standing. You don't have to do it sitting. You can stand up. And it's going to develop a lot of the front delt and the side delt as well. So you're getting the entire delt completely getting worked out. You can see he's obviously got a lot of development. He's 260 pounds here. He's 5'7", 260 pounds. He's estimating his body fat to be around 16%. And he competes in the 220s as an open class IFBB Pro. And that's a total set, more than a minute. And how does that feel? Terrible. It feels terrible. just like the last time we did this. So you want to train and make it hard, go to failure. You know, if you're not, then you're missing out on gains. You're leaving gains at the table. Don't want gains on the table, you want them in your freaking biceps and your shoulders, okay? Supersetting calves. So one machine down to the next. I'm gonna go all out on this one, then I'm gonna go all out on that one. I go back and forth. People keep making fun of my calves. It's genetics, they're not huge, so what? I train them hard, doesn't mean I'm not trying. I try to improve them as much as I can. I'm gonna do a set, stay tuned. All right, here, supersetting two different exercises for calves. So standing calf raises, my little tiny little manly, puny little manlet calves. They're lean, they're not huge. It's not because I don't try, it's because of genetics. I don't have chesticle genetics in my calves. My chest grows, my calves don't. Just like all of you. Some of you that train as hard as me for 20 years, maybe your whole body looks like my calves. They're just not huge, but you still can get ripped. You can still be in the best you can be. So now I'm at partials here. That means I couldn't do any more full reps, so I'm doing partials to get a bit extra. Now I'm doing partials at the bottom of the lift because that makes it even harder. I couldn't do them anymore. I'm doing them at the bottom. More metabolic stress, long set. Limp over to the seated calf raise. Now, on this exercise, you're using a bit more of the soleus. The last exercise, a bit more gastrocnemius, more like the ball, but this works the whole calf. So basically, I go all out on that last set to failure. Then I do partial reps. I incorporate all the advanced training techniques you can. If you have a partner, you can do forced reps. Go nuts. Walk over, do another machine, and go to failure. And as you can see, you hardly need any weight because you're already dead from that last set. So it's already hard. Getting a lot of metabolic stress from doing this. It's a long, extended set. Full range of motion. Leaning back to make it easier. And that's it. And if the calves can't grow, blame your parents. It's genetics. So, Jonni Shreve is going to do shoulder presses. And he's gonna do them between 8 and 12 reps. And if he doesn't get 8 on his own, then he has too much weight. So he wants to get 8 to 12. Then I'm gonna help him for 2, maximum 3 forced reps. If you're forcing out more than that, you got too much weight on the bar, okay? So it's gonna be to failure, he can't get any more, then I'm going to assist him to complete more reps, which brings him past the point of failure. RPE 10 plus. No ego lifting. He can lift more than that, but he doesn't need to. All well in control, and I helped him for 2 reps. And I didn't help him a ton because then he could have done 10 reps. Just enough to get the weight up and to really, it's like going to failure, not once, but twice, but 3 times in 1 set. It's almost like doing 3 sets in 1. That's tough, that's intense. You can't do 50 of those every workout. So maybe just do the last set of your exercise like that and leave the rest, you know, with maybe only going all out or maybe 1 rep in reserve.
RPE of 77.
Okay, you're on your own and you want to do some forced reps. So these are self-assisted forced reps. I do these all the time on this machine all the time. This is a very underrated exercise for glute medius. I used to ignore it, didn't care, thought it was for girls. Dudes, you gotta do this exercise. So what you do, basically I start and I just talk. So you push, and eventually it's gonna get really hard. It's harder at the top. So I give a little bit of assistance here and let it come down slow. Up hard, I'm forcing it so I can get the most out of it. So it's like a self-aided set. Now, if you had a partner, they could come in and do it for you. I don't. You can work these as hard as you want. Already, it's getting harder and harder every set, so I have to help earlier on. Go as far as I can, down slow. I try to go up faster, pause briefly, and then down slow. Up fast, hold, down slow. And these are all beyond failure. Just so you know, watch this. See, so nothing. I'm stronger eccentrically, so the negative I can do without the help. And basically you do this until you're not having any fun anymore right there. That's enough. and done. That works way harder. One set like that is probably equal to 5 sets of just normal, like going through the motions, okay? So you don't need a ton of volume, you need a ton of effort. If you get more effort, you don't need as much volume, you can get your workout done in less time. You don't have to sit in the gym for 2 hours a day to make gains. 1 hour of hard training, way better than 2 hours of half-ass training, which is what most people do.
Yes, most people.
This is insane hard. These are forced negatives. So that weight is half of what he would normally use for curls. Jonni Shreve's arms are absolutely stupid big. We're talking 21.5 inches without a pump. Pumped over 22 inches. He's 260 pounds, he's 5'7". I am pushing 100 pounds of force on the way down here. I'm pushing hard. Look, I'm not quite in the air, I weigh 200 pounds. You do every rep slow on the way down. Slow, resist that temptation to just let the bar go down. Then you lift it up fast on the way up because it's easy, because it's only half the weight that you normally lift. So you lift half the weight up, get your partner to push it down really, really hard. And as you get tired, you don't need to push as much because they're getting fatigued. And by the end of it, look, I'm not even gonna have to push down really, because you're dead. You can keep going until the point where you can't even curl the weight up on your own and then stop. Don't do a whole bunch of these. You will be out. Look at my hands. You're out. Done. Leg extensions with forced reps at the top. That's just making it that much harder. So you got the entire stack, the most weight you can handle, and obviously at the top end of the motion, that's the hardest part of the lift. It's easy to get it up halfway. So you get your partner to lift up from halfway to the top. Hold that contraction at the top if you can. Then let it down, you know, kind of slow. Don't just drop it down. And just keep going until you are spent. That's an intense, crazy, hard set. You don't want to do this for every single set that you do because it's overtraining even for an advanced lifter. But if you want to finish off your leg extensions like this, then do it. So before this, I already did 3 sets. So I was already well warmed up and I'd already done the other leg exercises. And so you're just finishing it off with this crazy, crazy intense pump. Running the rack. So Jonni started with 20s and did like 10 reps, then 30s for 10, 40s for 10. And then here he's got 50s and he's doing it till it's basically failure. Then after that, he's not done. He drops to the 40s and goes till it's real tough. Then the 30s and then the 20s. So you're basically going heavier and heavier and heavier. And you're sort of pre-exhausting the muscle. And then once you're at the max, then you're doing drop sets. We're not showing the whole thing. This set took him 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's some serious metabolic damage. Something you can do at the end of your workout and just be like, oh, I'm done. I'm going home now. And be so pumped that it's absolutely mind-blowing. So the main thing, it should feel terrible. And a superset of 3 exercises, starting off with side laterals. Girl on the side, motivation to train harder. The girls are looking. They don't want to see you train like a pussy. Side laterals, good form. Don't go crazy swinging of the weight. Now, if you want to do a few cheats at the end of the set, that's cool. You're an advanced trainer. But at least get the first 8 or so strict form. And then if you want to cheat, go for it. So, bend it over for the rear delt here. So you're just hitting the shoulder in a slightly different angle. Hit a slightly different portion of the deltoid. Obviously, there's several muscles in the delt. So here's the rear delt. And I'm bent over. And you can do these standing and just bending over. But me, I have L4, L5 herniated disc, as probably 1 in 3 of you have. Everyone seems to have this. And you do that set. Then you're not done yet. There's the girl again. I think it might be Jillian, I'm not sure. Upright rows, okay? This is a finisher of this. I mean, you're already spent, so you're just trying to really force out as many reps as you can. Get a little pump. You can see the veins are starting to pop out just a little bit. And how much is left? Doesn't look like much. Maybe one more. Not quite up the whole way. So I'm not quite getting it up, but I'm doing partials here just to get an extra burn. And that is it.
That's hard.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's like a sock, but a good sock.
It's a good exercise to finish at the end of your day. So you're done shoulders, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna leave the gym with a pump like everywhere, like everything is pumped right now. All right, we're finding the best angle so that I can look huge. This is the most important part of the video. So we're wrapping it up. Hope you learned something about how to train hard. Me and Johnny, we're both IFBB pros. We both train hard. We've trained together many times. This is how we literally do train in the real world, real methods used by real athletes. Not people that want to be athletes, that read a study that said train this way, blah, blah, blah. Don't go hard, never go and put any effort in. If you go too hard, you'll never make any progress. Bunch of BS that they say so that they can, like, you know, sell their own programs and whatnot and convince you to go easy, because most of you want to go easy. If you want real results and you're not a beginner, you're moving into intermediate and advanced, you're gonna have to use what we just tried, okay? Follow me, gregdoucette.com. That's my website, Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. You can follow me on Instagram. And how can we follow you?
Get me on Instagram at Jonni Shreve, JONNI.Shreve. And on YouTube, same thing, just check me out, Jonni Shreve.
Perfect. And, oh, we gotta blue up some videos. So if you wanna watch another training video, make sure you watch this one. I've got lots. That's one you wanna see. You see it? It's so cool. That's the best one. This is the second best one, right there. It's awesome. See that? Look at that. And until next time, we are out. Boop.